Hi guys! I'm Alexandra Di Gesaro and I help female entrepreneurs increase their confidence and show their authenticity on camera so that they can attract their ideal clients. And today I want to talk to you about the equipment because the very common question is, do I need a fancy equipment to start showing up on camera? The answer is no, absolutely not. And actually, I see many ladies use the equipment as an excuse not to get on camera. No, 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 that's not gonna happen. So let me tell you what's really important. At the very beginning, especially, use what you have, the equipment that you have at home. Start with using your phone and then start building from there. The other common questions: when should I buy, a fancier equipment, something new, something better? When you start seeing the limitations of the one that you're currently having. Let me give you an example. Sorry for that. So the thing is that I've played the piano for 12 years. In the conservatory, I even have a title as a professional pianist. And but at the very beginning, I started when I was 6, and my parents weren't sure if I wouldn't, stop in a month or two. So they didn't buy a piano at the very beginning because it was just too expensive. Instead, I had a normal digital keyboard, which obviously has its limitations. And I was practicing on the keyboard, even if it wasn't maybe the best way to start. But that's what we could afford at the moment. And once I literally ran out of keys, literally in the higher in the higher notes, I was missing the keys, and in the bottom the same, in the lower keys the same. That was when my parents said, okay, it's time to buy the real piano. And the same with the equipment for taking photos or creating videos. When you start seeing the limitations, that you're missing that option, that you need that manual mode or anything like that, that's when it's the time to buy the next level equipment. Not earlier, because earlier you will just get overwhelmed and it will be another thing on your plate. And especially if you are not the tech freak, it will just make you freak out, and it will make you nervous, and it will just make you procrastinate even more, because you will say, okay, I will be able to show up on camera when I learn how to use this new equipment. And you are never going to do it. So that's why it's important to start with what you have at the beginning, what you have right now, and build up from there. Okay, so what do you actually need? Because there are so many myths about it. You can hear that you need the whole studio, photographic studio, or a Hollywood production studio. Yes, great, you can do that. But let's be realistic and let's keep it simple. So what do you need? First of all, you need the phone. Okay, you may not even have to use the camera. Start with the phone. Most phones nowadays have a quality good enough to be used to create videos and photos of a perfectly good quality. Some are even fantastic. So if you have a very old phone, maybe you can change it for a newer one. But the new ones really are way good enough to start. And actually, if you you can start with a photo camera that also makes videos, but consider it can make things even more difficult and more complicated at the beginning, because whereas the videos that you take on your phone, you can easily edit on your phone in the apps that you have on your phone. Those that you create with the camera, you have to use the software on your computer, and those softwares are more complicated, very often paid. So this is another thing to consider, that if you want to use the camera, you may have to learn additional software that may be not as easy and as intuitive as those as the phone apps. Okay, what do you also need? You need a silent space. You don't need a microphone at the beginning. If you just find a space that is there's no noise, no background noise, and and you talk loud enough to be heard. So don't talk like a little mouse, just use your voice, talk louder. And in that case, especially at the beginning, you don't need the microphone. You can be perfectly fine with the microphone from your phone. When you start seeing issues, glitches, noise, or something like that, that's the time to buy a microphone. Very important thing that you really need is the light. But do you need the professional huge lamps? As I said at the beginning, especially, but not only at the beginning. No, you can just use lamps that you have at home. The best light is the natural light. So if you have a big window with a lot of sunlight coming in, that's great. You may not even need anything else. It may be enough. If, like me, your house is quite dark and there's not enough natural light, just use the lamps that you have at home. Right now I'm using my reading light, literally. I'm a super equipment minimalist, and you can do the same and get very good results with just the things that you have at home. So again, let's not overcomplicate the things, okay? The thing that can be very useful is a tripod. A tripod also for the phone, because yeah, that's you don't always want to be there holding your phone. But again, you can create natural tripod. You can use books to put your phone. You can use a wall. You can use a table. There is the lady that I'm following. I've been following her for a long time, Jasmine Star. She started as a photographer and now she's a social marketing guru. And I remember she had a habit of going live, I think every single day, to answer questions. And she was saying, I'm in my kitchen, my coffee is brewing, and I just put my phone, on the working space under the window, so I have a nice natural light. My phone is on this natural tripod on my table, and I'm just there doing live. You see, you can be a complete professional and just use the natural resources, and you don't need super crazy expensive equipment to get good results. And what else do you need? The last thing I would say is the relatively clean background. So white wall can do something that is not too noisy. If you don't have a space like that, you may use the filters to clean up the space behind you, or make it less visible, because that's very distracting. So as a white wall can be a little boring, in fact, don't sit right next to the wall. Leave at least 1 meter behind you so that there is some depth of space. It still will work better than having a noisy background behind you. Okay, and that's all the equipment that you need at the very beginning. You don't, as I said, I'm a total equipment minimalist, and you can be too. You don't need to learn any fancy new techniques. You don't have to overcomplicate your life. Just stop searching for excuses, get what you have, and start showing up on camera. And you will see that it's not the camera. Photographers always say it's not the camera is taking pictures, it's the photographer, it's the person. And so there are photographers who can take amazing photos with the simplest of phones, phones or of cameras, whereas there are people who take Hasselblad, which is a super expensive camera, and then their pictures are just crappy because they don't know how to use it. Okay, so it's not an excuse. Take what you have and just get on camera. Okay, I hope you found this video useful. Share your thoughts in the comments. Share your thoughts and questions, and I will be happy to answer them in my next lives. Okay, have a great day. Bye bye.